The presenting sponsor of Upmarket is Aereo, the best place to grow and manage your real estate media business online at aereo.com. That's ARYEO.com. Coming to you from the Upmarket studio at Gasworks in beautiful San Buenaventura, California, this is Upmarket, a podcast about the business of real estate photography and media. My name is Reed Fish. I'm the CEO and a co-founder of Upmarket Media. Mark Corcoran here in the house, loving it.
Loving it. All the co-founders are here. I mean, come on.
Yeah. We got a couple of us, and then God, so lucky today. Chelsea Froelich producing, also sitting in on the pod with us.
Hey.
Oh yeah,
in the hot seat in the studio.
So if you're on YouTube, you get to see Chelsea. That's always a good thing. Kind of ups the quality of our videos. So here we are. We're heading into 2025. Already a sixth of the way over.
Yeah, we're 2 months in already. How'd that happen?
So I think we've been busy, and we've been doing our off season stuff. Our slow season stuff, and I think we kind of wanted to get into what we did over the last couple months, or at least one part of it. And we've, as we kind of say every year, everyone should probably raise their prices. So we definitely went through and raised our prices, not by much, just on like the typical photo. The photo shoot, we raised $15 or something.
Yeah.
Each pricing tier.
I don't know. It felt right. It didn't feel too uncomfortable. It usually feels like, it's just like pushing too hard, but yeah, it felt like we needed to.
So for our basic, most common photo shoot, last year we were charging $335. Now we're charging $350. So I mean, it's a modest bump, but those $15 add up. And then we also bumped up, $15 the cost to add aerials, and and then we kind of, our 3D products, we kind of tweaked those a little bit. So, it was nothing major, and it was nothing that we felt we had to announce. And just to reiterate on that, we've really found that when we raise prices, we don't have to announce anything. I remember I used to be like, I got to send an email, and I tell everyone,
got to give them 3 weeks. We're going to do this, and make sure you get your. It's like,
we just raise them.
Yeah.
And no one says anything, and just they pay the bill, and we move on.
Yeah, that's small enough where it's not going to make someone not book us or change. It's just like it is what it is.
Yeah. And even if we'd raised a big raise, I don't think we have to say anything. No, so that's what the price is.
We lay it out on the order form. It's on the web. People see it.
We're transparent. We're
hiding
transparent about our prices. Yeah. But the bigger task, though, when it comes to pricing, is we wanted to kind of revamp our packages, because we've noticed for sure that in the last couple of years, people are ordering more packages, and we have some packages that are more popular than others. And so we wanted to make sure that we were still giving value on those packages, and maybe come up with a package to replace one of our packages. So I guess we can just go over what we have, and hopefully, I think a lot of media company owners around the country have similar packages. So hopefully this can be helpful as we kind of go through and talk about what was working, what wasn't. Our most popular package was the photo package.
Yeah.
So, which is our 3 most popular photography services, which is property photos, aerial photos, and everyone's favorite, twilight photos.
Yeah, we love those.
Don't forget the floor plan.
The floor plan is included on every single package. So yeah,
we love that photo package, but it's like we had to bump that up kind of decently after we did our basic kind of price adjustments, and we're like, well, we're really discounting this too heavily, right? So we kind of tweaked that a little bit.
Yeah, especially for twilights.
Come on. I hate discounting twilights. Yeah. Anything with the twilights. So I think ultimately for that package, though, I think it just ends up that we're giving a $50 break or something from what it would be a la carte.
Right.
So it's really not that big of a thing, because I think that is just, people just kind of default order that a lot and not even knowing it's a package. And then we say, oh yeah, it's a package, because they're not even necessarily expecting a discount at that level.
Yeah, for a lot of people, that's kind of their baseline. That's just like, give me the basic photo.
Whatever. These are the 3 things I find most useful. Let's do them. And so now we have, we've had a package for that. So you get a little bit of a discount. But if you want a better discount, you got to start ordering more stuff, man. We're not going to just 3 little piddly services.
Yeah.
So then we have our Upmarket Media package, which is what we on our website call most popular. So I don't actually think it is, but we can.
It's our most popular
non-photo
package.
It's our most popular in my mind. And that's photos with a floor plan, aerial photos, a basic video, and then a
3D tour.
3D tour with Matter, and forever it's been Matterport, but now we're offering iGuide as well this year. So, people can have their choice between the two. And that is pretty popular. Again, kind of all the things that people want. And so
it's kind of like the kitchen sink. Package, right? Like, well, what do we offer? Let's just push it all together.
Well, I think we put the most popular on there too during COVID, because it was popular in 2020, even like early 2021. Everyone wanted Matterport because no one was
2021 for
houses.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, and so we adjusted the pricing on those as well, and we had kept that one a little artificially low because for us, it was that package was actually the biggest percentage discount because we had it when we first started those packages, it was $995. And so it was like, okay, it's under $1,000. But then as we've just kind of bumped our prices up over the last couple of years, it's like, oh man, they're getting like a 20% discount on this thing.
Yeah.
So
we were trying to hang on to that and keep that price there, but it just didn't feel right after a while.
So we bumped it up to $10.95. But Chelsea was noting to us that she's getting a lot of requests when people are wanting to book that. Oh, can we switch out the 3D for Twilights or
Twilights or video?
Twilights or video?
Or no, sorry, it has video for Twilights. That was it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we were kind of realizing that maybe the 3D options aren't as popular as we hope they are, but
or people just get it as part of the package, but they're almost not using it, or they add the Twilights, or they want to swap it out.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like,
and I'd rather be in a situation where they add Twilights rather than swap out for Twilights, and we we would have to adjust the price accordingly because our Twilights are more expensive than our basic 3D tours, but I don't know, but I don't want to do more Twilights. I mean, it's the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like, and especially when they're on a discounted package kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it already feels like we're doing more and more of those. And it's just like, man, we're kind of maxed on those.
Yeah. As always, this is the bane of all our lives. Not mine, but the bane of everyone else's life is the Twilights.
And it's been
especially
manageable through the winter,
but it's longer days now.
Yeah.
Too.
I feel that coming already. The time change is coming, and it's just like, oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it just is what it is. So I think anytime we don't want to make it easier for people to do Twilights. If they want to add Twilights, great, but you got to pay us full price for those.
Yeah, we're not slashing prices on that at all.
So we did find ourselves having to make that swap on occasion. And we'll do it if someone really needs us to. I mean, if they're ordering 4 things from us, I don't mind giving a little bit of a discount. It's not that big of a deal, but,
and the way we typically schedule that out is we'll start later in the afternoon. So it ends up just being a one kind of later visit. Whereas I always used to do it was a double appointment. So you do your daytime stuff, then you'd have to come back separately. And depending on how far it was, that was just even worse.
Yeah. Which we still do sometimes, of course. It's just the way it works sometimes. But then, so that's kind of that's the sweet spot. That's the package we like to sell the most, I feel like. And then the next level up a package was our Upmarket luxury package, which I think was all the same things in the media package, except it was a, full length video, meaning it was like 1 to 2 minutes long rather than 30 to 45 seconds. Isn't that the only difference?
I think so. Maybe we threw in a custom domain or an upgraded floor plan.
Domain.
Oh yeah, custom domain. Yeah,
it was kind of ended up being like this middle package that we kind of wanted to fill this void, but it was just it ended up being our least popular package.
I think we sold like 3 of them last year or something.
Yeah.
And it was like that was just a package that we just didn't do. And then we have our, the kind of the ultimate package, we were calling it our cinematic Twilight luxury package. I don't know what
a lot of adjectives in there.
Yeah. which is then they upgraded our cinematic twilight video, which is has the day to night transitions and stuff, which is, I think it's good. And we did more of those this year than we have in the past, but it's also something that's, I think, become not as like special as it was a few years ago. I mean, you see it around a lot, and it's not that hard. Everyone kind of figured out how to do it. So it's we have interest in it, but we had to tweak that too, because we realized we were doing the Twilight video, and in that package, we didn't have Twilight photos.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Which everyone just assumes you get, or we had to add on, and it felt like we were kind of nickel and diming at that point. So it's like,
So we just did a couple $100 price increase or whatever on that package. And, we sell it a handful of times, and that's fine. I mean, I don't necessarily, like, I think we've talked about, I don't really want to do a ton of those. It's just like too much work.
Yeah. I mean, to me, that package it kind of had two purposes. Like, it was always like this, give me the best thing you've ever got. I've got this amazing listing. I want the best you can do.
Right.
Then we did that package, and we had, kind of a flurry of those at one point last year, and the rest are kind of scattered.
Yeah.
And then it also, because it's a higher price point, people come in and they see that price point, and then suddenly your other packages are like, oh, actually, $1,000 for all this. It's a pretty decent thing. Yeah, so it kind of,
this is a real good value.
It kind of helps to steer people, and you want it so you can sell it for those high end things.
Right. And so we felt pretty good about all that. But we kind of, and I think sometimes that when you have packages, there's just one that's just there to be there. It's not even really to be sold. I mean, it's like, it just in that kind of psychology of how you have your services and stuff. It's like, you don't need to be selling all these packages. You just need to kind of funnel people to one particular one. And for us, we want it to be the media package. But we also are thinking, well, I wouldn't mind having another package that's popular, and also kind of trying to figure out the needs of our clients and what they really feel like they need and want. Because that's what, obviously, we always want to stay on top of that.
Yeah, what they want, but also what we're seeing in other markets, and what we kind of see is like, maybe the next evolution of.
Right. Well, and this goes in tandem with another thing that we've been working on over the slow season, is kind of revamping our video product a little bit. Because this is kind of the standard classic property videos that we're doing. It's just a little boring, and we've done thousands of them at this point.
Yeah, so many.
And they all follow the same formula, and I think they all look great still. I mean, I don't have a problem with the quality, but I've been bored with them for a couple years, and I know, and I've seen that sentiment, in the social media for a lot of our contemporaries around the country of like, are you tired of the same old video? Yeah, we all are.
I don't know if you saw it recently. There was a South Park thing that came out that like totally, like, it was just like, this is what every property in America looks like. And it was the same. It was just like hilarious. It was like followed the same formula.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Like cracking me up.
Yeah.
Check that out.
Well, and there's only so many ways to skin a cat on this. Like, what are you going to do with in making it that it's a repeatable thing for our staff to go out and do?
Right.
I mean, you can
and
obviously
repeatable
do
for the editing side of it, right? So we can deliver it next morning. Like, to have that formula in that system, like, it has to be.
Yeah. And sure, I want to do more bespoke videos, but hey, man, that takes time, and it takes creative energy, and and people are not paying us the prices to support that. So and our business model, I think, is more of having it be a little more cookie cutter and having it be a little more volume based, and repeatable. But at the same time, we also need to be, on the other hand, kind of leading on the creative side of it.
Yeah, 100%.
And, so we've been trying to figure out, how do we do that while also still keeping the prices affordable for our clients, for our cheapskate clients.
Yeah. What can you do for $200?
Yeah. So we're thinking that we want to freshen up our videos, and how, and I think the kind of the more obvious thing is really the editing. I think that's kind of where our videos are a little bit lacking. We just have this cookie cutter editing. They're fine. And but sometimes when we have
stale, I think.
Yeah, when we have the we've been doing the cinematic twilights. Marco's been editing those, and he does a much better job than our editors do. And it's noticeable, but we can't have Marco editing. That just doesn't work for our workflows, and he doesn't want to do it anyway. So we had to figure it out, and also kind of take into account what our clients are telling us that they want. And I know, Chelsea, have you been getting feedback from people?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are wanting video. They want the videos that are going to make them stand out and be noticed on social media and set them apart. Mm-hmm. So the trick is just finding a way to do that for every client so they're different.
Right.
But they want the vertical video. Yeah. So the reel style, edited fun with music and fun text and...
Right. And we've been doing a lot of our vertical videos that we're giving to people are just a vertical crop of our horizontal video, because they don't want to pay for, they want the horizontal video, but then they don't want to pay for a separate vertical video.
Of course not.
Yeah. They know they want to put it on YouTube. So give me the horizontal video. I should throw it up on social media too. So what else can you squeeze out of the same video?
Yeah. And we're not happy with how those look either, but we will supply them to people if they really want it. But definitely we're getting more people asking to be on camera.
Yes, definitely more on camera.
They ask and then never actually want to do it, but
I know I should do this. Yeah. And then the next maybe on the next property.
Yeah. They don't always want to speak, but they at least want to show their face and I think more and more people are realizing that they are the face of their brand, and branding themselves is very important. I mean, trying to get that message across has not been easy, but
yes. Yeah.
They're starting to wake up.
They're getting that from all their kind of marketing, and all the information is telling them that, you can keep posting these just listed photos, but they can only do so much for your brand at the end of the day.
Yeah. So, so basically we've been working on, what are these new kind of videos going to look like? And I definitely think having kind of both options, have it be a horizontal option, but still be, peppier and more bespoke for people, and having the vertical version, with fancier graphics, with, more people on camera, fancier editing,
better music, all that stuff.
Yeah. Better music. I mean, that's a big one too. And so Mark has been working really hard, working with, he was able to find some new editors to try out, who are substantially more expensive than our editors. With and also caveat. With a slower turnaround time. So although those two things are great already.
We'll get you a better video and twice as long and twice as much.
But I think we're already at kind of a good place with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like I've seen, there's many people in our kind of situation online looking for the same thing. So I've been like networking with a lot of people and figuring out some different options for editors, because I kind of feel like our current editors are just, they're not maxed out. They could maybe do some more stuff because they're only doing what we tell them to do, but we just needed another solution. So I think we've kind of found that.
And it feels like, and with our editors are in Southeast Asia, that it can be the communication with the nuances of what we're wanting with the video has been a little bit tough. And so it's not been, even when we, I think, have said, oh, can we do this? It's just the most basic version of it. And
and the song selection is just continues to be challenging, and it's
just all the colors of the text, the font they use, the music. You're like, it could be just so much better.
There's many editors out there, so we're trying to dip our toes in some different things.
Right. So then we haven't rolled out the new video style yet. I don't think we've hammered down exactly what it is every single time, but we can at least see the pathway here, and we're pretty close to getting it. But then we figured, well, how are we going to market that? Not even market it. How does it fit in with our prices and even just with what we offer? Because right now we just have our video, and we call it a social media video, I think. And it's the 30 to 45 second highlight video of the house, including some drone footage,
Yeah. So that's our basic video. And then we can do a longer version of the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like
we just do one that's, twice as long, but it's the same, it's the exact same thing. And it's not even twice the price. It's a little less than twice the price. So, we don't want to stop having the option to do kind of the Upmarket classic video. Cause I think a lot of people aren't going to want to pay more. And frankly, with the amount extra that we have to pay on editing, we have to raise the price on it, like by a decent amount, because it's just, it really eats into the profit if we don't.
The numbers just don't make sense. I think it's like, if we're going to roll out this new thing, then let's like really make a splash with it and make it a new kind of product, right?
Right. And so our classic videos right now are $450, and then you can get them in a package for, obviously a little bit of a discount. And I think, what did we say that the new video should be? 600?
I think 600. Yeah.
600. So the issue with that, if we raise up our price on those videos, that obviously affects the packages as well. And it's a lot of work to explain the difference between the two videos. And it's a lot of work to then, for Chelsea, oh, you want the Upmarket media package. Well, are you interested in our premium video or what, you know, and it's like, and then to have two separate prices with that. I mean, you can obviously just say, oh, make it a premium video for $150 more. I mean, which we probably will end up doing, but this is not as clean as I want. And so,
and it's already, you want your offerings to be very simple. So you get a new client, they can look at your pricing page and be like, oh, there's not 20 packages with 30 different ads. It's just like, it gets insane after a while.
So we got to thinking like, well, we have this Upmarket luxury package that no one ever buys, and which occupies this kind of price point between our media package and our, you know, luxury package. Let's get rid of that and create a new package. And then Chelsea's feedback, which I think was so smart, is like, all you hear, right, is what people are doing with this stuff, and they all talk about
social media.
Social media, for sure. So we figured, what can we do to make a package that is really focused on social media?
Yes, which we're playing with the name, but we wanted it to be a standout for social media. So something strong and
social media standout's
punchy,
not bad.
Right?
I think our working title is the social media stunner.
Stunner,
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Oh,
which I like the ring to that.
Yeah. Can you actually say that with a straight face on the phone?
Yes, not right now because now I'm gonna laugh.
Okay.
Yeah,
social media stunner
gets right to the point of what we're trying to offer, right? What we're trying it to be, really.
Yeah. And so, you know, with pitching it as like, you're just going to have all the stuff you need to stand out on social media with this. And so it would be that premium vertical video with the agent on camera. And then what else?
Photos, aerials.
Yeah, photos, aerials.
Twilights,
not a 3D tour.
No.
Because that doesn't translate as well to social media.
No,
they can, of course, add a 3D tour if they like. That's no problem.
Right. But the tour is more like the video walkthrough.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then too, we were going to do like a 3D floor plan.
Yes.
Because that I think you can show on social media, and that actually pops a little bit.
Yeah. Way more visual, way more interactive. I think people like that.
And then also we were talking about giving a couple stories.
Yeah, like marketing materials for teasing out the video. So like a quick little teaser Instagram story, and then a post to go along with it.
Right. So that we would just fabricate for people.
Yeah.
I mean, very easy. Like you were saying, like 5 seconds, 10 seconds.
Yeah. Just a quick little thing they can post as a coming soon. Just as an added
so we have
bonus.
some kind of template set up that either you or our VA can do.
We can
and
just switch it out.
Tuck it in with the media. Because we have gotten that feedback. Oh, you got this video. Like, what else can I do with this video?
Right.
Like, you know, so it's like, chop it up a little bit and give them some more assets.
Right. So, you know, but all that though is a different workflow. And so when you do that, it's all fine and good, but then you realize, okay, well, now we have to produce those little bits of content. And that's, I think, a wonderful job for our VA to do. But it's just a matter of getting that workflow down, making sure that he knows what to do and, you know, when to do it. We have to be able to have the workflow to communicate it, and then to deliver those assets. And then we also, what's the other thing that we need to, and
it's also just the production of the video too. It's like, you know, making sure that we have enough equipment for it and we have enough audio equipment so everyone's able and capable to do that, or upsell it in the field even if people are doing a regular video. So just because we haven't done a lot of them for where our team is like comfortable to just jump in there and do it and make sure they have the gear they need. And so that's a big part of it. Right.
So kind of just getting it to a point where we can give our team creative license out there too, to do fun stuff, but then also make it, you know, repeatable. You know, which is the whole point of this, so that, you know, it's not Mark or, you know, well, not me, but me out there having to be there every time. Because when we've done this agent on camera stuff, and like I've kind of felt like, oh, I have to go there to kind of like direct, which is fine. I don't mind doing that a little bit, but if we're doing a lot of these, I don't want to do that.
No. And I think for me, at least, what we're trying to produce, we're not trying to do a complete 2-minute video with the agent talking the entire time that turns into voiceover and it's this huge script.
Right.
It's 2 or 3, maybe 4 at most little snippets.
Right.
Statement about the house and a couple little features, and then they kind of wrap it at the end where it's hopefully very simple and straightforward.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, that feels to me like we cracked the nut on this a little bit.
Yeah.
We haven't rolled it out yet. But we updated the prices on all the other ones, but we just kind of left our luxury package out there. But and it also is, the nice thing is this gives us something else to talk about. As we come into the spring and announce our new package and, so.
And it's, you and I met with one of our top clients and they're super excited about it. And it's I feel like they're going to be a good kind of in for this. And if we can get some of our top clients starting to do this, that they're the aspirational clients for all the other agents in the area, then that'll help us to kind of lead in with it and get more going on it.
Right. All right. Well, look, I'm exhausted now, so let's take a little break. We'll do our social media sidebar, and we're going to come back. We're going to talk more about kind of some stuff that's been going on with the business in the second half, and we're going to end with some action items. I think we got a triple today.
We'll see.
All right. Mark, our last episode, we were doing an ad for Aereo, which we're doing right now, and you weren't here, and so Chelsea and I had to talk about it, but I did want to touch on again. We had lunch with one of the top producing agents in our area, and someone who hadn't really been using us and had just started using us, and she said her favorite thing about us was that we use Aereo.
Yeah. Which
is that's good and bad, because I'm like, come on. What about other stuff?
We have other qualities. Thank you.
But they just love, and of course they didn't know it was Aereo, because Aereo is white labeled and they just know it's our back end system. They're like, oh, everything about it. All our photos are right there. I can pay right there. I can download anytime. You guys have the app. I can download photos right to my phone. I can schedule through there. I get the appointment reminders, everything about it. She was just in love.
And she's like, oh, I have this flyer guy that I use and I just added him in. Now he gets it automatic. It's like, she loves that. It's just
I didn't
awesome.
even realize. I forgot about that. Jeez. Yeah. Come on.
She's like, custom domain. Oh, the custom domain thing blew her mind too. Like this. She loved that.
So, yeah. Well, and this client, I think, spent $5,000 with us this year already. So it's like, come on, man. That pays for 1 month of Aereo. No, just kidding. Not if you use our code. If you use the code Upmarket at Aereo and you're a new user, you're going to get 15 free bonus listings. And especially if you're new, Aereo is quite affordable, all joking aside. So get in there, check it out, have your clients be as happy as ours. Well, they won't be because they're not using Upmarket, but that's all right. We've been working hard on our audio here at Gasworks and trying to make it so it's not so echoey. It's hard if you're in an industrial space. And it's there's just walls and everything everywhere. So there's walls everywhere. Wow. That's
15-foot ceilings.
You may have all heard, I don't know if it's really coming through in the final product, but there's a lot of construction noise going on because apparently a yoga studio is moving in next door to us at Gasworks, and they're building it out as we speak. And I was just over talking to the construction workers, and he was telling me that the biggest thing that he's missing is a floor plan. Oh. And I said,
we can take care of that.
I can take care of that. And so I did it. I fired up the second floor app out there, showed it to him, and he was blown away. Yeah.
Imagine how useful that's going to be for the yoga studio. Moving in, they can start figuring out where stuff's going.
Where they're going to put the nothing.
The mat.
The floor.
Yeah, where the void is going to be. Yeah, I mean that's
where the crystal's going to be. Yeah.
But anyway, the foreman over here for the yoga studio is like, I got to get this on every single thing I'm doing. This is key. And you know who likes it even more than like foremen on yoga construction studio sites is our real estate agents. They freaking love floor plans. We know it. You can make a floor plan with Second Floor app in a matter of minutes in a house, and you can deliver that floor plan right at the same time. And guess what? We all know what. It has GLA. It got all the GLA. And you can deliver that right to the agent, which you can upsell that agent right then. Do you want instant delivery? Well, give me some instant money. You can make so much money using Second Floor app. So just go to secondfloorapp.com/upmarket and you're going to get a free month of service. You can scan as many yoga studios as your heart desires. All right, social media sidebar. We are upmarket.media across all social. Well, that's our business, but we're Upmarket Pod. More importantly, you don't want to. Follow upmarket.media. I think that's good to do. And then we're Upmarket Pod across Instagram. This is really the only place, and YouTube. So you can watch this thing on YouTube. You can share it. I mean, it's very shareable.
Share
it. And obviously, you're listening to this podcast. So wherever you're listening to it, why don't you give us a 5-star review, 5-star rating? We love those.
Bring on the love,
really
people.
appreciate. Yeah, bring the love. Bring the love. Chelsea, of course, feeding beautiful on Instagram. Mark, whatever the hell he is.
Yeah,
still, you're gonna get your own personal Instagram account.
It's in the works. Yeah,
it's in the works.
So it's a long process. I mean, it's got to be very thoughtful. And,
No, that's really great. So I think the one thing that and we'll talk about it more, I think, in the second half. But we had Nikki Basher, as you all know from the podcast and from PMRE, I think. We had her do an Instagram takeover for our main account last week, which we had done during PMRE for the Upmarket Pod account, and it went so great. So we said, let's do that here. And then we will talk more about that, but I did just want to talk about the culminating thing, this long gestating video that she made with our good friend of the pod, editor of the pod, Bethany Diedrich out of Iowa, who came out to visit over winter break time. And Bethany and Nikki went to this nice listing down in Malibu that one of our clients had. It happened to be the former home of Robin Williams when he was filming Mork and Mindy all those years ago. And this is something that had been on our mind after talking with Alex Coombs and you can remember that episode from PMRE. If you haven't listened to that episode, you got to listen to that episode. So good. Who puts herself in videos that she does for her clients, which is like a genius marketing thing. And so Nikki got really inspired by that, and it's something we talked about doing. And so they took it upon themselves to go do one. And they didn't have any of the agents there. Bethany and Nikki did this whole thing. You can see it. I think it's pinned on our Instagram, on the Upmarket.media Instagram. They went freaking nuts with like costumes and props and everything. And it got a ton of great reaction and a ton of views, a ton of shares. Our clients were super happy with it. I mean, they didn't pay for any of it, but they got to collaborate on social media with us. So it was like a win-win for them as well. I want to do more of that. I don't know if we necessarily need to go that elaborate, but maybe we do. Maybe that's the fun. I don't know. I
think that was just so unique with Bethany and Nikki coming together, and the house was vacant, and it was just so unique that we just kind of like took the leash off and said, do whatever.
Crazy. And if the opportunity presents itself, we can have a fun one like that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and we held it off for a while because it was it almost burned down in the fires. So it was right next to it, and there was just like so much stuff going on in Southern California with the fires. But finally, we felt like, we can have a lighthearted video now. It's like there's still all this trauma, but hey, this is something that can actually be fun. So, and it was. I think people kind of uniformly have loved it.
Yep.
All right.
I agree.
Yay, social media. All right, we're going to take another quick break. We'll be back to talk more and end with some action items. Let's pick back up actually with social media. I know we just had the social media sidebar, but kind of a broader strategy for us. We had Nikki do the takeover of social media because we I mean, something the three of us have talked about a lot of how can we get Mark not having to do the social media. And then we've kind of tasked Chelsea with doing more of it. But that's also been pretty hard for her to actually end up doing on a consistent basis because of just the grind of admin. It has, and so I feel like we just haven't gotten it to a place where we're happy with what with the social media.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's still not quite as consistent as we want. It's not on autopilot enough, and it's just like you came up with a great idea. Like, let's have our team members, shooting a bunch of behind the scenes stuff. We'll put it all in Slack, and we'll have all this content to use. And then sometimes we use it, sometimes we don't. And you're just like, there goes another week.
Time
and
to make the video.
Dang. Well, and it's been hard to come up with creative ideas even within that. And so, but then we kind of realized at a certain point, it's like, oh, we have kind of like a social media superstar on our staff. Why don't we let her do it?
Loves doing it. He's doing a great job at it.
Well, and that's kind of what ended up happening is it was like, a year ago or something when we said, hey, team, we want to do more social media stuff with everybody. Start, putting your stuff in Slack. Well, Nikki just starts doing stuff and puts it on her account. And we're like, well, that's great.
Wait a minute.
That's great. But, and she's always tagging us and talking. And she's not trying to steal business or anything like that. Not at all. But we're like, well, she's been doing a great job of it and getting a lot of engagement. It's like, we need that on our channel. Why are we, and at a certain point, we're just like, why are we not just handing the reins to Nikki?
Yeah, just leaning into what we already have more, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm here, I see agents in the field. Oh, I love that video Nikki's doing, or this or that. So funny and so cute
Nikki,
and whatever.
Well, yeah, and so we just basically said, well, here's the password. Go nuts. And I think that's kind of, and we framed it as, oh, it's going to be the Nikki Shoots, takeover for a week. And in our mind, that's how we were going to kind of tease people into or get people into the fact that Nikki's going to be more of a presence on our page.
Yeah, it was kind of the transition week. She was able to do her big Robin Williams video and this whole thing, and then it would transition into.
Yeah. And not that it's going to be exclusively Nikki content. I mean, I think we can all do, whoever, I don't even have the password right now, but, can put content out there. But I know Nikki, on her account does Walkthrough Wednesday where I don't know, it's like she chooses, I don't really watch it because I'm like, oh, it's a house. And, but I think she does a tour of a house and, talks about, walking through the house. And it's like, well, and I think she collab posts that with us sometimes, but it's like, that should be on our feed every Wednesday. Yes. We can collab post with Nikki. We're happy to boost our social media as well. And then, but you were saying just earlier when we were meeting, Chelsea, of how do you see it working?
I see Nikki doing more of the day-to-day, the consistent posting, so that we can stay on a consistent schedule ourselves, and then creatively as a team coming up with the more fun content to put out there. But I do think Nikki will help us be consistent with posting because during the day-to-day, as we know, I'm doing the admin stuff. And if I can squeeze in the social media, great. But I don't want it to be like that. I want us to really be on the agent's radar every day, them seeing us out there doing our thing. And having them do the behind the scenes is great too. But then a lot of that stuff comes through at the end of the day when I'm out of the office. Then Mark ends up posting it before I'm in the office the next day. So just having to not have to do that as much, and maybe having Nikki go behind the scenes and show up to shoots and talk to the team. Just more fun things like that we can incorporate will be great.
Yeah, and the biggest thing to me is that Nikki's into it.
Yes.
I don't want to say she's as passionate about it, but it just comes through. She's
natural.
She's someone who just loves having fun, and she thinks that this is fun, and she has fun doing it. And it's and you can tell. Yeah. And so that's it. I mean, what we talk about a million times is having that authenticity.
Yes.
And she, it's hard for me to fake it, but she has that authenticity, and she can be out there, and she's a great representative for our company. So
yeah. And people, our clients know her face, so they're familiar with her, and it just lets them feel more familiar with us. I know. Even though they don't see my face every day, and your face.
I hardly ever see your face.
I know. Well, most of them still don't know what I look like.
Yeah.
So It just helps them recognize us more.
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
nice.
Yeah, and if she's comfortable and good at it, then she can come interview us on the field. There's so many different things that we can kind of lean into. Because if you ask me to do a behind the scenes, I'm just going to show you a cool view out the window or something.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not going to flip the camera, but that's just like for her, that's just a natural thing, and she's really good at it. And let's lean into that.
Yeah, yeah, and the trick is just getting Marco to do it too. But the problem with Marco is it just doesn't. It's not authentic to him to do that.
Yeah.
So he's not going to do it, and that's totally fine. I mean,
but that's why I do see I see myself collaborating with Nikki and helping her create content, come up with things weekly that she can do, so all that weight is not on her shoulders while she's also trying to shoot.
Right.
But I do see her, occasionally going to the shoots, getting that behind the scenes content from a different perspective. And talking to Marco and getting him on camera, because that's another gift of Nikki's, is she's really good at having people break out of their shell a little more and warm up to the camera and getting them to laugh and smile. So that will be really fun too, to have her do that for us.
For sure.
Yeah, and then the more we can get our team members on there, the better for all of them. We're still struggling with, what does Mark have? What does Nikki? It's like people get kind of pigeonholed into using certain people, and it's just like more about the team, and they see me training the team, and even people have said, I didn't realize that you guys actually, we just thought you just hired photographers and like send anyone out. They're all fully trained by me. I work with them like they're part of the system.
Yeah. I loved the videos that our newest team member shot.
That was going to be the segue I was going to put in there, is that worked really well, because we the other big news for us is we hired a new team member a couple weeks ago. So David, who's not here, but
that reminds me, I got to get him on the website so people can see him.
But we kind of put out the call for resumes out there, and we got some. Honestly, it was like our best batch of applicants ever. But man, David just like super
he's like
stood
our
out.
unicorn. Like, where did he come from?
So,
I mean, we got a handful of people that like in any other hiring round, we would have hired these other people like in a second.
Yeah.
And we still are kind of keeping them like, man, I wish we could hire all these people because they're so good.
Yeah.
But even with that group, he kind of stood out above all that too.
Oh yeah. And, remains to be seen if he's going to want to do social media stuff or whatever, but that's fine. He's got his hands full getting his Part 107. But I mean, that's the thing is like we've had him for 2 weeks and he's already like scheduled his Part 107 test. He's been studying his ass off, and it's like, oh yeah, that's a lot different than we've had with other employees in the past. So.
I mean, and for me in the field, like having done the training for most of our employees, it's like, this has been the quickest, easiest, like you just like stuff is clicking and it's just working really well.
I mean, Marco and Nikki, you both, it was very easy.
They were great too, but it's just and we've kind of talked about before, like what we're hiring for and what we kind of look for now is less like the technical skill part of it and more of like the personality and all these different things, the kind of intangible things that we've been lucky to find in our current employees.
Right.
And I feel like he brought all that, but he also brought this huge skill set, and he's a film producer and photographer. So the technical part of the training has been like really quick and really nice.
Yeah, and kind of it aligned exactly what he's looking for as well. Is he's someone who has like done a lot of traveling to do shoots and everything else, but it sounds like, I mean, we don't ask about people's personal lives when we interview, but it sounds like, he's just getting married and he now wants to stay close to home. Yeah, so that works out real well for us as well. Yeah, exactly. And then, and we offer him too the flexibility of, if he does get a big job for, that is going to take him away for 2 weeks, that's fine. We can handle that. So, we always like try to, offer our employees as much flexibility as possible.
I feel like timing wise, like we really wanted to hire someone in the winter, which we did, and get them trained up, for the spring. And it's been a busy winter. So it's been, there's been plenty of shoots. I've had him out on, he's shadowing me, and it's like, I feel like in the next week or two, he's going to be ready to kind of launch on his own and just really help fill out our schedule, where sometimes right now our schedule is fine. And then it's just like, we're just kind of tight and we got to push this and move that, and someone's off. But now I feel like it's going to give us that breathing room that we kind of need in the schedule.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, the training's well. I even went and supervised a shoot.
You did?
Yeah, on Friday. He did. Yeah, I had him do it, and I just was kind of there answering questions. It was a vacant house, and then get this.
How did it feel to be on a shoot again? By the
way, after 5 minutes, I was so bored.
We're talking about legendary photographer Reed Fisher. So I mean, come on, that's a big deal.
All right. Yeah. Someone called me that the other day, and I was like, all right. Now Mark has to call me that all the time.
That's a good title.
But then the guy comes back and is like, "Oh, I don't know, Mark. Yeah, he, I don't know, Reed does things way different than you."
It's like, these might be a little wider than you're used to, or something. I don't know. Yeah. Like, that's so good.
Yeah. So that's fine. That's fine. There's a reason why Mark is the one training people. But yeah, no, it didn't feel great to be out there. And the homeowner was there, and it's like, I was like,
little taste of the past.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, I just like, as I've talked about on here, is like, I just do not like have the patience for it. Cause even the homeowner, super nice. And it's like the place was vacant and cleaned out. And then she starts, I was like, oh, all right, well, it looks great. Well, she's like, well, this used to be that. When the homeowner starts like going over all the renovations they've done.
Oh yeah, reminiscing.
Like, this
I really
is like,
don't care.
And so finally at a certain point, and I know David's just kind of standing there, and I was like, wow, it just sounds like you've done a lot. Well, so anyway, we got to get started. And it's like I was actually, I think, nice about it, but man, I just wanted to I literally wanted to strangle her.
Jeez.
So
yeah, let's get you out of there.
Yeah. Well, and for sure though, if I'm going to strangle him, that takes action, right? So that means it is time for our action items. Our action items today are sponsored by Pixel CRM, the only CRM that is made by a real estate photographer for real estate photographers and media professionals. It's an amazing tool, fully fleshed out. You can do so many things with Pixel CRM. I urge you to check it out. It's Pixel CRM. That's PIXL CRM.com. And if you add right after that.com, if you add a little /Upmarket, you're going to be able to get a free month of service to check it out. So check out pixelcrm.com /Upmarket.
So I'll go
Chelsea,
first.
I think I want you to go first, and please tell me that your action item is not to record a podcast in a construction zone.
Definitely not. I would strongly advise against that after today.
Okay.
I actually I was, doing some social media research on Friday, and I saw this really fun video that I wanted to not copy, but recreate something like that with our team. And I just think it's important for everyone, even if you are a solo shooter, to just come up with something fresh and fun to put in front of your social media and to put in front of your clients. So my action item for you is to make a social media video. Find something that inspires you or something you can
rip
off, sure.
With your own unique take.
Well, but
put your own spin on it, make it your own.
Well, but if you're following other real estate media providers around the country and they're not in your market,
totally whatever. I think everyone does it on Instagram.
Yeah, I think, rip us off, rip other people off.
There's not many original ideas left out there anymore, right?
It's too hard to think of an idea on your own, yes. Rip something off. It can be something simple, but just put yourself out there, create a fun video, post it, see what happens.
Okay.
But I think it's good for spring. Try something new.
All right.
Do something fun.
I'm excited to see what this is. Are you going to share it with us?
I think it's perfect for our team, which is I really like that.
All right. Well, I guess we'll let you know when it's on our social media.
Yeah.
I'll post it on the Upmarket Pod one too.
All right. Who's up? You up?
Sure.
Let's hear it.
What was it? Oh, okay. Also related to social media. Also, of course, something we talked about. But if you do have a team, let one of them do a takeover of your social media for a week. Because that can help them feel empowered, and then it can also take a little burden off you.
Yeah, so let your clients see another aspect
it brings a new perspective. Yeah. Or maybe just do a day. You don't have to be a week. It depends on, we happen to have someone who's great at social media. Maybe, you just have a great photographer, but they're not great at social media, but still give them the reins for a day and, make them shoot selfie videos and stuff. And there you go.
Yeah.
Or maybe you have multiple people. You have multiple. That could be kind of fun to
if you have a team of 5, do one team member a day. Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe we'll do that.
Well, maybe.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Me taking over that market. We should do that actually. That would be kind of fun.
It
might get a little too sloshy. I don't know. Anyway, all right, I got one.
I wouldn't be drinking.
Okay, yeah, sure. All right, so mine is, and I think you've kind of touched on this in one of your previous action items, is to revisit your offerings, your services, and especially look at your packages. Like we did, we have this kind of our media package, we have our high-end package, but then we have this kind of middle package that was just kind of a placeholder. So it's like revisit your offerings are you really offering, something that's kind of more cutting edge and what your clients are really looking for? And maybe there's room to kind of push a couple out and then create something that's, new and fresh, and it gives you stuff to market, and it just kind of revamps your offerings.
Refresh for spring.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love it. Spring, I don't know. Anyway, I'm up for spring. Let's do it. We're revamped. We're refreshed. Hope everyone out there is too. Thank you, of course, to our sponsors. Thank you to our team here, our editors.
Yes,
thank you, of course, to the listeners. We appreciate each and every one of you. Check us out. We will be back soon with more podcasting. Thanks, everybody.
Woohoo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Upmarket is a production of Upmarket Studios. This episode was produced by Chelsea Froelich and edited by Bethany Diedrich. Thank you so much for listening, and we really hope you listen to the next one too. In the meantime, our wish for you is to not have to shoot any Friday night Twilight shoots. Thank you for everything.